Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. This is Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So today we are talking Love Island, Australia, you guys. It is back. The first two episodes are in the books. So if you have not seen episode 1 and episode 2, spoiler alert, we're going to dive in. I was a little bit nervous after the first episode because I thought it was automatically going to be the season finale, and I'm like, no, Australia would not fumble already on the first episode. What am I talking about? So basically, they did a little bit different this year with the singles and the introduction. So they had like all of the girls come in, they had 6 girls come in and 5 boys come in. However, instead of the girls immediately stepping forward for the men that they were interested in, they had to ask different questions to some of the guys to try to see if, they ticked their boxes or if they gave them the ick or whatever the case may be. And then things kind of started off rocky between Claudia and Jordan because she was turned off, I think, by his mullet. But I think what ended up happening, he's like won the women over. Like it's like, because he's like actually a really nice guy. But she wasn't feeling his mullet and asked him, as one of her questions, if he was willing to, get rid of the mullet for a girl, for love, or what have you. And then immediately I got red flags from Connor. He was giving me cocky real estate agent who is going to get whoever he wants, whenever he wants. And I just was not feeling his energy. And so we kind of get into, the first set of couples. We have Mitchell and Phoebe. And honestly, they're just the cutest, you guys. They are absolutely the cutest. They've already started like making out and things of that nature, but they just have like a little cute is a button type of couple that you want to root for. Then we had Jessica and Connor, but basically Jessica was Connor's like second choice, right? So I don't know, he's just giving weird red flag F boy energy. And I'm very annoyed by him because it's like he's immediately went in to kiss Jessica within like the first hour of, the show basically happening, you guys. Like literally the moment that the couples happened, the recoupling happened, immediately he goes in for a kiss, you guys. And I'm like, yeah, this is a red flag. He's just looking to hook up. He's looking to, see how many women he can hook up with and this and that. I felt Claudia was going to be the breakout star of the show because multiple men were interested in her. Also, Layla, she looks so much to me like Chloe Burrows from Love Island UK season 7. It is like they are a dead ringer for each other, you guys. But a lot of people are into Layla, so it seems like her and Austin for now are getting on well. But I'm sad that that's going to change. I'm sad that that's going to change because we have a love triangle, you guys. We have a love triangle already a couple days into the show, which I expected. And so there is that. Then who else? Who else am I forgetting about? Holly. So Holly ended up being single, and I don't know, you guys. I don't know if she's a right decision to be an OG. I don't know. She's giving me Casa Amor vibes and not an OG vibe. Like that's somebody, and what I mean by that is, somebody who definitely production sees that is going to go the distance, has a potential to win the 50K, is there looking for love. I feel like Holly, she's one of those players that's just kind of there to stir things up, right? And, she may seem like she's into certain people, but she's also in game mode too. So I don't know. It's giving me Casa Amor vibes to where it's like, I just want to steal your man and have like the upper hand and get, and all of that. And I don't know. I'm trying to see how this plays out with her, but she's giving me a Casa Amor and not an OG type of vibe. Also, we have as well Austin and Stella, and they seem to be like a little bit of a cute couple. So she started off with curly hair, you guys, and then it was interesting because she straightens her hair, for the first evening or what have you, and all of the guys like lose their mind. all of a sudden it's like, oh, now I want to talk to Stella. And it's like, so were you really judging her because you didn't like the fact that her hair was curly? Like, seriously? Like, how shallow and superficial are some of these men this season? Like, it's just crazy because it's like, it's weird because it's like, there's moments where there's like goodness. Like, I feel like the most genuine up to this point seem to be Jordan, Austin, and Mitchell. I feel like they're giving the most genuine vibes out of all of them. Connor is just giving straight player, straight game player. And I feel like, we are not seeing enough, to really kind of gauge with certain people. Like, I feel like the guy that they said that looked like Pocahontas, like, I feel like he's not getting the right screen time. Like, I don't know what's happening. I'm a little bit nervous for him because he might end up being vulnerable, you guys. And so, what ends up happening is, they decide the first night or the next night, I think it was like night 2, right? Night 2, they decide, okay, we're going to have Holly graft all the guys throughout the day, and then we're going to have a recoupling. And I was like, okay. And so they have her choose, one of the guys, which is fine. But we didn't know that whoever she was going to choose, the girl was immediately going to be dumped from the villa, you guys. And I was like, already? I was like, no. So Holly really was tunnel vision and was all in really on Jordan. So I don't even know like why she was trying to pretend like she was even interested in anyone else. It was always Jordan. And then I think a part of her too wanted to also have an upper hand and stick it to Claudia, you guys, because I think she sees Claudia as a threat to win. And she's right to have that notion because Claudia is the moment, you guys. Claudia is the star. Claudia is the moment. And immediately Holly chose Jordan, and then they get a text for her and Claudia to switch places, and they text Claudia that she's dumped from the villa. And I was like, no. I was like, production has to rectify this. Literally, she's the it girl. She's the girl that all the guys wanted to get to know. And so then it's like, she's leaving the villa. Jordan's having a meltdown as we get into episode 2, and he's just like having a panic attack. He is, having a breakdown because they had been cuddling in bed. He hadn't tried to kiss her yet, but they were making inroads together. And so I was like, production really can't screw this up, right? They really wouldn't screw up already, the season 4 by getting rid of your star episode 1. And I don't know if this was encouraged or not for Holly to choose Jordan, or if they were expecting Holly to choose somebody else, so that way, the dumping could have gone on as planned. I don't think they were anticipating her choosing Jordan, because the closest relationships at that point were really Austin and Layla, Mitchell and Phoebe, and Jordan and Claudia. So maybe you could have made inroads with like Connor or Pocahontas and, got in that way. And so, that didn't end up happening. So I was like, uh-oh. So then we're seeing Jordan have these meltdowns in the beach hut, and I'm like, uh-oh, this is not going to end well. He's down bad for this girl. And so next thing I know is Claudia is leaving, with her suitcase. She gets a text and is like, hey, you're not dumped from the villa. And I was like, see, production got a hold of the footage and was like, we are not throwing our season in the towel like this. And so basically they had 2 new bombshells come in, and the bombshells did what they're supposed to do. Tack and Column came in, and they're both fit, they're both tall and everything else. Tack's like a rapper and a security guard, and Column's like a pool boy and a personal trainer, what have you. And so they escort Claudia back in on the second episode, you guys. And so that's where we left off, and everybody's freaking out. You could tell Holly feels a certain type of way that Claudia is back, and she's also pissed at Jordan because Jordan's like really pissed that she picked him. But it's like, I feel like sometimes females, when men kind of give you the signal that like they're not really interested in you and they don't really want you to pick them, sometimes some females get off on that and want to have tunnel vision on who they like anyways. And I feel like that's where Holly messed up. She should have went for Column or Pocahontas instead, some people who were not as attached in their couples, and really could have made some headway. But instead she chose somebody who was basically all in on Claudia. Even though she didn't like his mullet, he was all in on her, and she played herself. So now she's flirting with the new bombshells. They're touring around the villa, this and that. And you could just see Jordan is completely smitten. He's completely shook about Claudia. All the men have nice things to say about Claudia and talk about how good she looks and everything else. And I was like, oh, so they all were feeling Claudia. So the truth comes out. And, then I don't know, there's like this toxicity that's developing between Connor and Jessica, because we have like these truth or dare games where people like, kiss different people and this and that. And then Connor, he's like looking at Jessica as she's getting to know Tack, because her and Tack have all this stuff in common. They both like anime. They're both like into Japanese culture and everything else. So they're already hitting it off, you guys. And so then it's like Jordan, he's up here cuddling with Claudia because, as you know, she's like the single now. So she's in the single bed. And, Holly just feels a certain type of way, you guys. Next day we get into a challenge finally, and it is like, the red flag challenge where everybody's kind of dressed like Baywatch, and basically there's like different secrets and things revealed. Honestly, the most steamy part of it that I felt was the most tea that is going to set up for the rest of the season is Jessica and Tack. They had a very nice makeout sesh, but it led later to like this argument with Connor, because Jessica found out that he was also talking to Stella on the side and talking about picking Stella, but Stella at least saw right through it and saw that he was just trying to talk to Stella because Jessica could have her head turned and because her hair was straightened. And she felt as though, okay, nobody else talked to me on day one, the first couple of days here, but now all of a sudden my hair straightened and you want to talk to me. So I'm glad that she pegged him and knew exactly, the type of guy he was. And then the girls also called out Colum, basically saying he was there for, a fun time and not to look for love. And Claudia also had the ick because Colum said basically, she was like, looks versus personality. And he was like, oh, looks all the way. I don't care who you are as a person. Like, I'm going to look at looks first. So that just was like an immediate ick. And the other thing that happened in this challenge, you guys, was the makeout sesh that never ended between Austin and Claudia. She was sold when she found out that Austin is a Harry Styles fan and had some quote on his arm and a sword and everything else that was like in, I guess, the same type of text that Harry Styles used. So she's all in. They had this makeout session that was out of this world, you guys. I was like, oh my gosh, they're not going to come up for air at any time soon. Like, they are really into each other. And honestly, Austin's won me over, you guys. Austin's won me over. He's the number one guy. Claudia's the number one girl. They've got to make this happen. They've got to make this happen because I think they could win this, you guys. I think they can win this. I know it is early, but it is obvious that, Claudia has all the intangibles of what a winner looks like, and so does Austin. Austin is totally the nice guy, totally the humble guy, this and that. And we're going to get into some drama, you guys, because the preview for episode 3, because it looks like Australia, they're only doing 4 episodes a week, Monday through Thursday. So we're already like halfway through the first week. And it already looks like, Claudia and Austin, they're going to debrief about the kiss from the challenge, you guys. And he asks her, did you feel something? And she was like, yeah. And she asked him, did you feel something? And he was like, yeah. And, but the problem is somebody needs to tell Layla what's good, right? Somebody needs to tell Layla that Austin might be having feelings for Claudia, and it needs to come from her couple, Austin, so that this doesn't get messy, so that this doesn't get grimy. But I was shocked how quickly Claudia's head turned from Jordan, because Jordan was so down bad for her, and it literally just took one challenge and one kiss and a couple of fun facts about Austin, and Claudia is all in on him. She is all in on him. So this could be very interesting in terms of what ultimately can take place. And I think Claudia obviously wants Austin to choose her for the next recoupling, you guys. So this will be very interesting. So we'll have to see who ends up being vulnerable, who ends up. I feel like the most vulnerable to go is between Pocahontas and also between Connor. Like, I feel like those two have the most red flags as well. I don't know if they'll let a bombshell go this early. We'll have to see how this shakes up on who's going to be doing the recoupling, but I feel like, you know, it should be a boy leaving, and I feel like Connor and Pocahontas are the two that are the most vulnerable to go. So we will have to stay tuned. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Did you guys watch the first 2 episodes of Love Island Australia? What do you guys think of the season? I think, you know, it had the potential to be the season finale, episode 1, and then it quickly rectified itself, episode 2, and now I'm all in. And now I'm a little frustrated that we're not even getting at least 5 episodes a week, because they actually have a good cast. They actually have a good cast this season that is going to give lots of drama, you guys. So there is that. But please let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.